Manchester United have opened talks to sign Victor Gyokeres, but bitter rivals Manchester City are now trying to hijack the deal. Gyokeres is set to be one of the hottest names in the January transfer window, having scored 24 goals in 21 games for Sporting Lisbon so far this season. That follows his debut campaign last year, in which he scored 43 times to fire Sporting to the Primeira Liga title. The manager who brought him to Portugal was Ruben Amorim, who has now taken over at United. One of the biggest weaknesses in the Red Devils squad is widely seen as being at striker. That could lead to the Portuguese coach prioritising the position in the January transfer market, which opens in less than a month. Gyokeres is thought to be one of his top targets, having worked so closely with the Swedish international. According to Sky Germany, United have opened initial preliminary talks with Sporting over a move. The Red Devils are said to be actively interested in signing the 26-year-old star. But a potential stumbling block is the interest of City, who also want Gyokeres. Incoming sporting director Hugo Viana is understood to find Gyokeres very exciting, with City having space for an alternative to Erling Haaland. They allowed Julian Alvarez to join Atletico Madrid in the summer and not replace the Argentine. City are now 11 points adrift of Premier League leaders Liverpool, with a major rebuild expected. Gyokeres' contract at Sporting does not expire until 2028, handing the Portuguese champions a strong negotiating position. There is a release clause of around £83 million in that deal, but a gentleman's agreement between the striker and club chiefs means that a bid nearer the £66 million would likely be considered. Gyokeres has already spoken out on moving to United, hinting he is happy with life at Sporting. He said when Amorim left, going with Amorim to Man United, "I don't know, I'm here, I really like being here, it's not something I think about, I'm enjoying it here, I'm sad about him leaving, we wish him all the best." Amorim has also tried to avoid commenting on the prospect of signing Gyokeres. He told TNT Sports while still in charge of Sporting, "I can't make fun of it right now, it was hard for me to leave. If I start joking about this Gyokeres situation, I'll get in trouble. This is my city, this is my country, so I'll respect it. Victor has to stay until the end of the season, and then his life maybe is going somewhere else." Manchester United have completed their final training session at Carrington before travelling to London for tomorrow's Premier League fixture against Arsenal at the Emirates Stadium. The squad underwent rigorous preparations as they aim to secure a crucial victory in one of the season's most anticipated matches. The players were seen arriving early at the training ground with spirits high despite the pressure of the fixture. Under the watchful eye of manager Ruben Amorim, the team focused on maintaining discipline, fitness and cohesion. The session included set-piece routines, passing drills and strategic exercises aimed at fine-tuning their gameplay for the encounter. The club's medical staff worked closely with several players to ensure their readiness for the game. Lisandro Martinez, who had been dealing with a minor injury, participated fully in today's session and is expected to make the trip. However, long-term absentees like Viktor Lindelof and Tyrell Malacia remain unavailable for selection. After training, the players returned home to finalise their preparations before assembling for their departure to London. The squad is scheduled to leave Manchester by flight later this evening, with team officials ensuring smooth travel arrangements. Arsenal vs Manchester United is scheduled for kick-off at 4:30 p.m. UK time tomorrow, with both teams vying for vital points in the race for top positions. Manchester United's new head coach Ruben Amorim has hailed Noussair Mazraoui as the club's future, even though he isn't especially impressed with the defender in training. Mazraoui arrived in August as one of the less heralded of United's 5 major summer signings, signing from Bayern Munich for a fee of around £12.8 million, potentially rising to £17.1 million with add-ons. The Moroccan international was hand-picked by the recently sacked Erik ten Hag, under whom he had played at Ajax. After a steady start, the 27-year-old has played a key role in recent weeks, impressing Amorim with his consistent performances and versatility, while excelling in both full-back positions and as part of the back three. Having started all 3 games under the Portuguese and been shortlisted for United's November Player of the Month award, Mazraoui is expected to feature in Wednesday's Premier League clash with Arsenal. And speaking at Monday's pre-match press conference, Amorim lavished praise on the defender, identifying him as a key part of his long-term plans. Amorim said, "He's a top player, he knows how to attack, he's very technical, he's very good defensively and he's very good one-on-one. He's a modern player, I think he's the future of our team. When you think about him, you think we need more players like Nous that can control the tempo. They are really, really good and comfortable with the ball. So, Nous, I'm really happy with him. However, Amorim admitted that the Morocco international doesn't necessarily shine during training sessions. The Portuguese boss revealed, "In training I don't see him a lot, but in games he's a top player, because he understands the game. He has appeared in 20 matches so far this season, managing to provide assists against Brighton and in the recent Europa League win over Bodo Glimt." Mazraoui was an integral player under ex-Red Devils boss Ten Hag at Ajax, making 137 appearances on his way to winning 3 Eredivisie titles. Having moved on from the Netherlands, Mazraoui played 55 matches for Bayern Munich across 2 seasons in Germany, but he found himself sidelined too often once Thomas Tuchel took charge of the Bundesliga giants, which prompted him to seek a move elsewhere. Nevertheless, he picked up a Bundesliga title in 2022-23 and played an important role as Bayern reached the Champions League semi-finals in 2023-24. We want your views, Reds. You can become even more involved with our Man United coverage by signing up. This will unlock a whole host of things, including joining the comments and taking part in our special Quandus, where you can speak directly to our reporters about what's happening at Old Trafford this week and beyond. The Anglo contingent of Manchester United's pre-season tour squad were not in the mood to chat in Los Angeles. In lieu of surly senior teammates, Ahmad, a shy and softly spoken 22-year-old, stepped up onto the dais for a press conference in the University of California, Los Angeles. From addressing the press to initiating the press, Ahmad is now a firmly established first-teamer at United. It was fleeting under Erik Ten Hag at the start of the season, and all the signs suggest he will retain that status for longer on Ruben Amorim's watch. 3 assists in 2 starts do not do Ahmad justice. He made United's second goal against Everton happen by robbing Jared Branthwaite off the ball. At both of Amorim's post-match Premier League press conferences, Ahmad's name cropped up. He said at Portman Road the winger had made strides in his defensive game over a mere 3 training sessions. On Sunday, Amorim magnanimously thanked Ruud van Nistelrooy for bequeathing him such a buoyant talent. Ahmad had a beaming smile when Van Nistelrooy sent him on during his first match in caretaker charge against Leicester City. That 4-match spell is remembered more for Ahmad's goals against PAOK and his neat backheel for Bruno Fernandes against Leicester. It is just as well Amorim's early assertion that full-backs would start in the wide roles has not come to pass. United's central defensive shortage has been a blessing in disguise, moving Noussair Mazraoui inside to make up the numbers in the 3, leaving a vacancy on the flank. Ahmad was always a good fit. Quick, selfless and intense, he took less than 80 seconds to demonstrate his credentials with the cross for Marcus Rashford at Ipswich. At a club that is now actively sharing responsibility for transfers, Ahmad is an outlier. Signed on deadline day in October 2020, his first manager was Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, yet nobody considers him a Solskjaer signing. Ten Hag was so sceptical of Ahmad, he had no intention of sending him on in the FA Cup semi-final against Coventry City until Marcus Rashford was forced off with a bruised heel and ribs. That was in spite of Ahmad's game-changing impacts as a substitute, most memorably with the unforgettable quarter-final winner against Liverpool. Once Ahmad had recovered from an ankle injury that kept him sidelined for 5 months last season, he had to wait nearly another 5 months for a start. His selection against Arsenal in May was Ahmad's first meaningful start in his 4th year at United. He had a chastening loan at Rangers between January and May in 2022 before attaining cult status during a season-long loan at Sunderland. A thigh injury in August 2021 scuppered a planned loan to Feyenoord. Ahmad has started matches under Solskjaer, Ralf Rangnick, Ten Hag, Van Nistelrooy and Amorim, and it is under the latter 2 he has truly come to the fore. There were some marvellous moments under Ten Hag, but he started in one of his last 6 matches as manager. Figures at Feyenoord were baffled Antony emerged ahead of Ahmad in the 1-1 Europa League draw in October. The most vocal champion of Ahmad was the former football director John Murtough. He maintained Ahmad would show his qualities if he had a run of 10 starts. When he did at Sunderland, he scored 6 goals. He overcame an early managerial change, usually a death knell for a loanee, on Wareside when Tony Mowbray replaced Alex Neil. Mowbray is an unsung hero in Ahmad's development. Upon his return to United in summer 2023, Ahmad was on trial. Either he or Facundo Pellistri were scheduled to head out on loan. Ahmad hurt his ankle in July against Arsenal in New Jersey, left the MetLife Stadium on crutches, and did not play again until December 30th. Pellistri had to stay. Come the new year, Pellistri's number was up. He struggled in his 4 starts, and another La Liga loan was lined up. Ahmad stayed, and despite limited playing time, endeared himself beyond beating 𝐂𝐎𝐿𝐼𝑑𝐌𝐄𝐃 at the Stretford end. United's interest in Amorim's prodigy at Sporting, Giovanni Quenda, another left-footed right-winger who occupies the same role as Ahmad, should not be viewed as ominous for United's number 16. Quenda is only 17, and those close to him have likened him to Bukayo Saka. Bernardo Silva half-joked that he will steal my place. The scope is there for Quenda to develop into a forward. In Amorim's 3-4-3, he could be one of the two behind the striker. So could Ahmad. The new United Brains Trust identified him as an integral squad member in the summer. A left-footer who will not flourish in either role for United is Antony. It is in all parties' interests he moves on next year, hence why United have already met Jorge Mendes, tasked with overseeing Quenda's probable sale before next year's market. Ahmad changed agencies in the summer and is now represented by the same one as Alejandro Garnacho. He has technically entered the final year of his contract, but United are expected to trigger their 1-year option before looking to tie him down. Leny Yoro is set to be included in the Manchester United squad for their Premier League fixture at Arsenal on Wednesday. Yoro, 19, has been sidelined for 4 months since he fractured the metatarsal bone in his left foot against Arsenal in a pre-season friendly in July. The £58.91 million summer signing has been involved in team training in recent weeks, but has not participated in every session as his rehabilitation is carefully managed. We have one more training session to see it, United head coach Ruben Amorim said, of possible returning players. Maybe Leny Yoro is going to be in the squad. I feel he is in a good moment now, his fitness is better, so I think he is going to be in the squad. The others we have to see. Some players are tired, and we have to assess tomorrow in training. I think he's a special talent. You have to be careful in this first moment, because we didn't have too many trainings together. He is training not alone, but with a small group of players. He is really fast, he is a modern defender, and that is good when you want to press high and you leave a lot of strikers, especially in this league 1-against-1. I think he can manage that. He is very good with the ball, so I'm really excited. I have to be careful. We have to manage the load and the minutes in the beginning, but I am really excited to see Leny Yoro play. Bruno Fernandes had ice applied to his ankle after he came off in the second half of the 4-0 victory over Everton on Sunday, but is fit to play. Now he's fit to play, Amorim assured. I see him already this morning. He's fit to play. He's a guy that doesn't need a lot of rest, you know him, so he is prepared to play. United have not won away at any of the old Big Six clubs, Arsenal, Chelsea, Liverpool, Manchester City and Tottenham, since the start of the 2022-23 season. United have lost 7 and drawn 3, conceding 31 goals. They are winless at Arsenal in their last 6 Premier League matches and have not won at the Emirates Stadium since the FA Cup 4th round in January 2019. Amorim's Sporting prevailed at Arsenal in the Europa League round of 16 in March 2023, and he is impressed by the club's evolution under head coach Mikel Arteta. It's the best team that we faced by far so far, Amorim added. But the test is every game. If you see the last game yesterday was really tough. Was 4-0, but you see the game like I see it. So everything now is a test without so many minutes to train. Trying to manage the number of minutes for a lot of players who cannot manage more than one game. Some players have to be out of the pitch 60 minutes, 70 minutes. It's really hard in this moment. Everything is a test. Arsenal, for me, are in a different point of their team. They are in a different moment.